This is easily the weirdest way to win a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, if you've never seen this card before, its name is True Exodia, and it's obviously based off Exodia the Forbidden One. If we look at its effect, it says if the only monsters on the field are this card you control and 4 Forbidden One normal monsters with different names, which is obviously in reference to the pieces of Exodia, then your opponent wins the duel. And I know what you're thinking, why in the world would you go through the trouble of getting the 4 pieces of Exodia onto your field and then True Exodia just for your opponent to win? Notice that the card says if the only monsters on the field, not your field. Which means if you create a situation where you have the 4 pieces of Exodia on your field but put True Exodia on your opponent's field, then you would win the duel because True Exodia's effect says your opponent, and if you give it to your opponent, then your opponent's opponent is you. And this is actually not that hard to achieve, especially because there's cards like Treasure Panda that exist. This card lets you summon normal monsters from your deck by banishing spell and trap cards from your graveyard. So if you run a deck full of spell cards that discard your hand and draw you more cards, then you can easily put all 4 pieces of Exodia on your field while getting True Exodia in your graveyard, and then it's time to activate a card like Give and Take, which will special summon a monster from your graveyard to the opponent's field, at which point you'd win the duel in the weirdest way possible.